G'day, Steve Morgan here, Fishing Monthly magazines just south of Bundaberg in southeast Queensland. It's the home of SeaJay boats. They're made just up the road here, and I've got Gary Fitzgerald with me to do a test this morning on one of the Territory hulls. Fitzy, the Territory, about a year old now, and the range is growing and growing, isn't it?
Yeah. So here's the 453. We've had other sizes. Latest addition to it, due to demand from our dealers and the general public. So it kind of fills that niche. You know, that 4.5 metre size is very popular, as you'd know, Steve. So the latest addition to the range, built on the next gen Adrenaline hull. So if everyone out there is probably aware of, or the SeaJay followers are aware of the Adrenaline hull, we've kind of rebuilt it. We brought the chine line forward. We've gone slightly deeper sides, and which gives us a greater volume inside the boat, bigger dance floor up the front, and that's what the Territory's all about. It's all about lure casting, fly fishing, or throwing that cast net.
Well, you and I, we've been to the Territory. We know that everyone likes the consoles and the seats backwards, and they do want a lot of workroom up the front. And that nice high casting deck up the front, it means there's a ridiculous amount of storage under there, doesn't it?
Yeah. So good storage up the front, including our R&D's done a great job in hiding an anchor well, so there's still one there, you just can't see it. It's under the front casting deck, same as the other Territory models, and of course we've gone to that full transom there as well, so no more open transom stuff. Plenty of storage in the front deck and plenty of storage under the back.
Now this one's a side console configuration. What about the centre console? Is that available?
Yes, for sure. That usual Territory, what they want up in the Territory, it's all about the centre rear console, 3 seats across the back. Certainly this one that we've borrowed from Bundaberg Marineland, that's a side console, can get as a centre rear, and there's lots of variables in between.
Now this one, it comes with the optional bait station at the back, powered by the 60 horsepower Yamaha 4-stroke, and we're going to talk to Will Lee a little bit later about that. But what sort of options could you put on this to hot it up? I noticed there's a trolling motor plate up the front. Very few of these would be sold without a trolling motor.
Yeah, absolutely. So these come standard with that. We pretty much expect that you're going to put either one, any of the various brands of motor on there. We haven't put one on today, just for the test ride, but it comes option with that. You can go with a centre console. You've got bait boards. There's other you'll see we've got some rod holders in there as standard. You could even put a rod locker in if you want. There's heaps of different options. And
that's one thing SeaJay is good at. If you've got an option that you think you need in the boat, talk to your dealer. Your dealer can probably get it organised for you. Now, let's talk about trailering. This is a very trailerable boat that you don't need a big car to tow around.
No, look, you get away with a single axle on this one, which means it's easy to push around when you've got it off, easy to reverse, and it tows really well. You've got options for you can go with a galvanised like C-section trailer, you can go with an I-beam alloy trailer, and if you get the SeaJay boat on the SeaJay trailer, you get an extra 12 months warranty.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you do that? Because an extra year of warranty for buying the trailer that exactly matches the boat. Now, let's have a chat to Will Lee from Yamaha about the 60 horsepower. So, Will Lee, the Yamaha 60 and 70 horsepowers are right in the volume zone, I suppose, from Yamaha, and you guys have sold thousands and thousands over the years. Give us the main features of this outboard.
Yeah, so like you say, the 1 litre platform, which is our 50, 60, and then our 70 shares some features, is a very popular one for us, and we sell a lot of volume of it all around Australia, on the back of all sorts of different boats, whether they're runabouts or like a side console that we've got here today.
I suppose lots of them that you sell are on the back of boats exactly like this. Aluminium boats that get taken to some pretty nasty places in Australia, but that Yamaha reliability will get you back.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we've got people all around the country knocking up massive hours on these engines. We've got a very extensive dealer network all around Australia. I think at the last count we had about 90 outboard dealers. What that means is if you're travelling with your boat, you've got plenty of places to take it and get it serviced and looked after.
Yep. Well, like we always do at Fishing Monthly, we don't believe what the suppliers say. Let's take it out on the water and see how this SeaJay and Yamaha actually perform. So there you go. That's what the SeaJay 453 Territory in a side console model looks like down here on the Elliott River at Bundaberg. Pretty rough out the front, but the river itself, it's actually a beautiful place. And it's the typical place you'd run a rig like this. This is the smallest Territory in the SeaJay range, and we're sure it's going to be a really big hit with dealers. Price range, it sits in the low to mid-30s, fitted with that Yamaha F60 4-stroke outboard. And it's got a 70-litre fuel tank. And with these performance stats, i.e. 4,000 RPM, 35 kilometres an hour, 3.9 kilometres per litre, you've got well over 250 kilometres of theoretical range. And in this rig, that will get you a long way, no matter where you are in Australia. So drop the hammers though, and you can go 5,900 RPM, 58 kilometres an hour, and that economy drops to 2.7 kilometres per litre. Still pretty good economy for a boat of this size. This is the smallest Territory in the range, as I said. What I do love is that extended beam towards the front of the rig, giving you that big broad casting deck up the front. It gives you the great space underneath to store all of your stuff, and I really do love SeaJay's new concealed anchor. If you fly fish or lure cast and want that front of the boat to be as uncluttered as possible, it's a great option. I also love SeaJay's consoles. They're quite big. You can get behind them, you can mount things in them. You've got a little area where you can keep your mobile phone and keys and wallet and all of those things you don't want to get wet. I don't particularly like the fact that you can't flush mount electronics in there, but there is plenty of space to bracket mount some electronics in there. So especially guys that maybe want to see their electronics from the front would want to mount something on a ram mount which can swivel those electronics front and back. The rear seating, very comfortable, and it's a long way back, which means it rides reasonably comfortably out on the water. This rig was quick out of the hole and pretty fun to drive. This rig came from Bundaberg Marineland, fitted with the Yamaha and on that single-axle SeaJay trailer. Visit www.seajayboats.com.au for more information and search SeaJay Boats on Facebook and Instagram to keep up with their socials.